Hey, welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. This is your host, Jermaine Lockett. We're rocking in. We're talking about this Cleveland Browns versus the Ravens, or Ravens versus Browns preview here, and we're going to have a special guest, couple questions. But before we do that, let's pass the collection play. Let's make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. We're going to have special guest Cam Wade coming into the room here in just a second. Just got to get him into the studio, so y'all bear with me while I go ahead and send this thing out. If you're new here, hey, appreciate y'all. Like I said, we just rock the original sports perspective. Most of the time when people are on the airways talking about sports news, it's all about Lamar. And don't get me wrong, I love my guy, but I try to keep it original on here so that y'all can actually hear a little bit more about the team as much as possible. And Cam is going to help me do that. So we're going to have him in the room here in just a second. I'm sending this link right now, and he should be able to hook up. But how's y'all week going? Hope everybody's been doing well. All right. So now you can hear me. Cool. So we got two people in the room. Y'all go ahead and say something. Go ahead and see something in the chat here so we know who we got here in the room. What's going on with you? Hey, Lisa, what's going on? Hey, I appreciate you always coming through. Your support means so much to us here on the couch, Rider Raven. So thanks so much. Hey, you always you're seeing things ahead of time too. Like I said, y'all know Lisa. Talk to her cable service provider. Her cable service provider is phenomenal. She always is catching all of the Ravens plays just a second before I'm able to announce what's happening on the screen. So it's a lot of fun with Lisa because she is a true fan and a true patron of the show. So I appreciate you, Lisa, for coming through. Can't wait. We got you in the room yet, man? Okay, so he's just about to follow a link here. All right, cool. We get you in right now. Let's see. All right, y'all. I'd like to welcome Cam Wade to the show. What's good, man?
What's going on, good brother?
Chilling.
You hear me?
Like a villain.
Let me see something.
It was crazy. We had crazy internet connections. I didn't think it was gonna happen.
Nah, we good. What's going on, man?
Oh man,
Happy holidays to you. I ain't speak to you in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, man. We just been either doing the show or just been busy with work like crazy.
Yeah. I hear you.
And let's get into this Browns preview here. So I mean, we saw it. It was ugly. We made it last time, and then of course Baltimore just took that L because they were just skating by already, and they couldn't figure out their offense. But the defense against the Browns looked pretty good last time.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this comes out with a similar showing because it seems like the Ravens defense goes the way of the inside. Well, actually, just goes the way of the linebackers. If the linebackers are having a good game, if they're tackling properly, if they're wrapping up, and it looked like Queen was just run blitzing, and they were sending 5 on first down. It looked phenomenal on defense. Offense is where the problem was. It looked like Lamar just, he's starting to I don't know if he's seeing a ghost out there or if he's just, missing passes or something.
Boy, yeah, we ain't seeing no ghosts. Chill out.
I'm looking on Sam Darnold right now.
Oh, chill out. We ain't about to make him a new adjective now.
Yeah. We hope the guy ain't seeing no ghosts. But I guess we'll jump into the first question, though. Like I said, we'll talk about Lamar. Let's talk about his targets. We'll still talk about the offense just a little bit. First question, Hollywood versus Greedy Williams, because Newsome may be out with the head. I think he's going to concussion protocols or something along those lines.
He said in the last practice on Friday, he said.
Yeah, so Greedy's been stepping up for them as well. But I know from, I guess, last year, Greedy was like kind of a burn victim, last couple of years when he was playing ball. So how does this matchup look with Hollywood versus Greedy?
I got a feeling that because Newsome is out, and I don't think Greedy, honestly, I don't think he fits their system. Like he's LSU. Most of the LSU corners are like press corners. But I think this is in my head. This is how I see things.
All right.
If I got Ward, I'm gonna put Ward on Bateman. If I would do it this way, if you want to stop him, you really want to stop Hollywood, they probably want to have somebody over top.
Okay.
They do play their normal defense without how they everything always changes when you play the Ravens. But if it doesn't, he probably throw somebody over top on Greedy. That way he doesn't get beat, and then have Ward play Bateman or Sammy on the other side 1-on-1 if they do go man, and they have, and for the most part. But I just hope that for Lamar's sake that he gets enough time, man, because it doesn't. Everybody's always like, okay, he's pressing. He is pressing. A lot of it is his fault, but a lot of it is also the scheme. Like, we have an intermediate and a long game, but we don't have any short passing game. Everybody wants them to go to the hot read, but are you giving them a true hot read? Like, there are times that I see that he's missed it, and they pointed it out. Like the last time when they did play Cleveland, when Freeman was he swung out the backfield to the left, and he just did not see him.
Yeah, Lamar just don't see wheel routes. I don't know what's I'm like, if it's a wheel route, it's not a him. He's thinking all the way downfield.
Yeah,
that's a major problem.
Yeah,
also with the fact that I guess Hollywood's gone about 4 games without catching a touchdown.
Yeah,
the last 4 games he hadn't caught one. I think he was out in Chicago, so that's basically 5 games where we hadn't heard from Hollywood. We need to hear more from Hollywood. And I think it's because teams have figured out, and I saw this in the Cleveland game, they are doing like low and high bracket coverage with Hollywood. And actually, they had Newsom sitting up top on the high, and they had somebody else sitting down low when it came to the zone against Hollywood. And by that time, Lamar seeing that first read is not there. And you can see he was just constantly focusing on Mandrews. I love the guy, but at the same time, that cannot be the game plan. And the Steelers, they sniffed that out, and they definitely exploited it. But definitely the Browns did as well. They figured out the interior passing is what Lamar loves. That's his bread and butter.
Right. Yeah. I think he has to. It seemed like the same thing happened last year where he was like pressing. Like last year around this time, he went back to Lamar. You know what I mean? Yeah. This year it seems like it's the same thing. Like he was beginning of the season, he was showing improving that he's improved as a passer, but he may not say it, but sometimes it's like it's already in his head.
Yeah.
I think he does love, though, because they are pressing him so much.
Yeah.
They are like doing the zero blitz, the zero coverage, excuse me. I think a lot of times that spread, when they do spread him out, it just helps him more. He sees it a little bit better. And it just, like, think about the last drive, right? When we played Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Right, even though they were blitzing, he was seeing things a lot better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it seems like, if they do, I don't know why. I don't understand like why we had Patrick in there to try to shorten, to give like a little bit more pass coverage as far as somebody to protect Lamar, but it's not working. If you spread them out, you can see it a little bit better. And then they did when we played Miami, right? They had the bracket coverage. They had the 4 over top.
Yeah,
that was 10. They were all 10 yards off.
Yeah, it was all 6 coverage, and it's like, okay, can we get some out routes?
Yeah.
And the thing was, once they started running those out routes to Bateman, they were going down the field, and then double moves. When Bateman got the double move on the backside over there, that was when things started happening.
Exactly.
They got to use this guy. They got to use him. And actually, Sammy had it right, even though he fumbled the ball.
Right.
The slant would have worked it would have worked great.
Yeah.
But he just happened to fumble it. They should have kept going with it because that would have brought those guys in a bit, which would have allowed them to be a little bit more dangerous over top.
And I don't understand why. Like, you can take a page out of Kansas City's playbook. Like, that's how Patrick was killing us last year.
Yeah.
That's how he was killing us. You want to blitz me? Okay, I got some. I'll let my playmakers make the moves.
Yeah.
You can't say it and not do it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You have probably one of the most elusive players. He can play running back as well. We're talking about Duvernay. Bateman is also he's run after the catch. He's a problem.
Yeah, they gotta
Yeah, you don't have to force the. You should have, in my opinion, you should have like your top receiver is Hollywood.
Yeah.
And you got, Andrew. They have plays already made up for them, but you got a first-round draft pick in Bateman. You should have some plays lined up for him, just for him, just to get the ball to him.
I agree.
If it screens to anything else, because he has great hands.
Mm-hmm.
He's still learning the offense, so I'm sure like there's those times that 2 of the picks, unfortunately, he was in the way. Well, one of them, one pick. The other one almost got picked up. Again, he was in the way.
Yeah, he was in the way. I think that was meant for him, and I think Lamar was trying to thread something and didn't realize he's in the way. Oh crap! And I've noticed a couple of times. I mean, even in the Chargers game, it seemed like that Bateman may not have been for him.
Right.
Caused 2 picks. One was from a drop, and the other one was from a communication on their own. That was just them warming up, and I'm thinking they got to figure out how to get more chemistry. They got to take more chances on the outside. And I know we've seen limited plays from Tyler Huntley, but what we saw in the preseason was Tyler was not afraid to toss the ball on the outside. That's the difference between him and Lamar. Lamar loves his interior receivers. He loves the slots. He loves everything going in between the numbers. But Huntley was bold enough to push things to the outside in the preseason game. And I wanted to see Lamar take that page out of his book and find a way to put some 50-50 opportunities on the outside. I mean, you're throwing picks. Might as well go ahead and give it to the guy that's your first-round pick. You know, give him an opportunity to get those balls up on the outside. And I mean, Mandrews is nice, but I just don't think, you need to put this game plan on him the entire game because obviously they're tuning in. They're figuring out like, hey, we can go ahead and squeeze this zone as tight as possible. Lamar's going to make some mistakes. Let's move over here to the next topic, which is Bateman. Why hasn't Bateman got his touchdown yet? We just haven't figured that out, have we?
I'm blaming that on Rome. I'm not blaming all that on Lamar. I'm blaming that on Rome. And that's still in all. We finally got Watkins. We finally got everybody's healthy. I still haven't seen all 3 of them out there at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's either one of them out there or the other one's out there. It's never together. It's never like, I don't know what you're saving. I don't know what you got in your boat and all of that crap that he keep talking about. Like, just come on, bro. Right now it's playoff time. It's playoff ball. We have to win the division. That's one. We need that. Yeah. And hopefully, because of all the injuries and all the things, hopefully maybe we still have an opportunity to be the number 1 seed. Like, you want to take advantage of what you have in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. I know some people, shout out to Engraving. some people don't agree with the 2-point conversion call. I can see where everybody's coming from.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. People ask me, do I agree or not? I don't know because I can see where he's coming from. I can see both sides, but I can see also the fact that if you play to overtime, then you have, you take the kick, you go to overtime. We don't know who's going to get the ball. It's still a 50-50 chance at that time. You know what I mean? And then you go into this game. But then you had a chance to go ahead and kill it. You had a chance to kill him. They didn't have to. I don't have a problem. Honestly, everybody loves to play.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the play. I love the play, just not to watch. I'd rather it went to, I think it was Hightower, number 56, the outside linebacker for the Steelers.
Highsmith?
Yeah. I'd rather it been that way and you try to block Watt. Then you delay him enough. And then I don't think he's nowhere near as instinctive as Watt is.
Yeah, personally, I felt like they shouldn't even went with that play. I feel like, yes, go for it. But go with the bread and butter play that gets Lamar 3 yards. And I'm talking about a full-on, I'm talking about a veer. Straight up, get Lamar the ball, veer, just like they did against the Seattle Seahawks, get this man his yards because that way you can stack as many offensive linemen as you want on the field. You don't even have to put tight ends out there at that particular time. Just put them all out there and let them escort Lamar into the end zone because I know he can get that type of play going.
And I don't know if anybody saw this, but it's on Instagram, Everything Ravens. Somebody, the guy who runs it, he posted a picture. That play, both Ben Powers and I'm about to mess his name up. Villanueva. All 3 of them fell on Bozeman.
AJ.
fell on Bozeman.
Maybe.
It looked like the Bad News Browns, bro. Like they were all on top of Bozeman.
Yeah.
And everybody just pressed in. And I'm trying to understand, like, we look bad. That really looked bad. No one saw that because they were still focused on the catch. And Andrews would have caught it if he kept running.
Yeah. And that's a couple things I really like about that play. I mean, when you look at it, you when you're doing a read, especially in a situation like this, don't sit here and leave the one of the best players on the field with an open lane to your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I didn't agree with that. There have been times when they have done this read and they've actually been able to smash
Right.
the outside linebacker or defensive end coming in. And I felt like that would have probably been the best solution right there, was to have a guard pull on that play to smack them and take a chance. Because I mean, we have 4 of them on the ground. We could use one of those guys.
I have all the love in the world for Ben Powell, especially the fact that he was drafted by Mo. You know, rest in peace to Mo and everything like that. But I really think at this particular time, like, you've seen enough. Don't tell me that he's done that good of a job that you can't put Cleveland in there or move. Now it might be too late to move Tyree Phillips back to left guard.
Yeah,
but you can't tell me that Ben Cleveland's not ready.
Yeah,
like,
I think
he's you got to give him an opportunity. He's at least going to be a better pass blocker. Powers has been every time I've seen him when there are interior sacks. He's been, manhandled off the floor. Like, he's just been pushed back. Like, he's a good run blocker. He's decent. He's not great. He's a good run blocker, but he just, I don't know. Every time I seen Cleveland in there, and if you think about it, think about the games before Cleveland got hurt, right? He got hurt in the Indianapolis game, I believe.
Yeah.
Every game that second half, think about it. Every second half, he was the starting guard. Think about how the protection and how everything got better.
I mean, he big enough, man. I mean, depending on if he ate his squirrels that morning, we can go ahead and move out to the right side.
Right. This dude is a big muscle-bound bodybuilder playing guard that can move. Like, he could probably play out. He could probably play tackle.
Yeah, I like to see it.
Like,
right now, we got Phillips out there, and Phillips is not.
That's not, and he's still. And on top of that, for Phillips, he's still young. We got to remember he's only played football for 5-6 years now, right?
Yeah.
So if he looked better, his feet are quick enough to be in at guard. Move him. He won the guard position.
Yeah.
You know, he just got hurt in the Raiders game. Move him back to guard. He has a smaller space to work with. I don't see why Ben Powers didn't. He practiced. He said he practiced. I mean, not Powers. Cleveland. When he's at Georgia, he practiced at every position. He said mainly obviously he was a right guard. He said he did play some tackle. You know, as far as, because they just wanted to make sure they were ready for everything. He has the size. He's the same size as OB. He's the same size. He may be a little bit smaller, but muscle tone, he's bigger.
Yeah. I figure I'd like to see what the size looks like on the outside. I mean, granted, it didn't look good when Villanueva was over there on the right tackle side with that big height. But I mean, this guy's he's just a couple of inches shorter. You know, we want to see what he has to offer on that right tackle side, because that would be nice if it works out for him, and then we can solidify him in that spot going forward for the future. I think it's easier to replace guards than it is to replace tackles. You know, at least that's my opinion. Whenever I think what was it, Yanda, and there was another guy that we drafted in the first round, Grubbs. Yeah. When he left, we didn't feel that much pain when he left, but he was an excellent right guard.
Right.
Or excuse me, he's a left guard, and then Yanda was at the right guard. But it didn't hurt as bad. He went to the Saints, and then he kind of fluttered off from there, whatever. And I was actually hurt because I thought that Grubbs was the better guard at the time.
Right.
But at the same time, Baltimore didn't miss a beat. I felt like, you can still move forward with guards being replaced, but tackles are something that are just of high value, especially with everybody like putting these zero blitzes on Lamar, or just sending the entire house. Yes. It's just madness. Let's move on to the next point here. We got another point to victory here. Freeman. I mean, you see it. This guy, he's averaging about over just 50+ yards in the last 5 games. It looks like Baltimore's starting to get the ground game going. Are they going to change it up to where they focus more on the ground against a meh type of run defense in Cleveland? I mean, they're probably about 11th or 12th in the league against the run, but they allow about 4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So is this an opportunity to exploit them using Freeman, or did they have it together yet for the Ravens ground game?
I think I don't see why not. I mean, I think Freeman's getting in a good groove, and it would be good. It would be nice to help, slow down slow down the run blitz, and they probably are going to try to run blitz just to even it out because the rookie linebacker that they have over there, he's a little undersized. So they may run blitz, but at the same time, I think that we have a good chance, especially Jackson is out. He's not playing this game at D tackle, so that's going to help out.
Yeah.
Again, I still feel like if we need to bring back the RPOs just a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't think we've been doing it at all, really. I think it's just been straight handoffs majority of the time, or Lamar's just keeping it.
You think that's because of they've been having issues with the read?
Mesh point?
The mesh point.
Yeah. I think it's been. I mean, it's like Lamar. Even they asked Lamar about that in the interview this week. He's like, when did he mess up? He never messed up. That was like beginning of the season. He should be better by now. Him and Murray.
Yeah, hang on just a second. We got Lisa. She said something here. She said she hopes the defense gets its act together and tackles Baker Mayfield. Let's just shift gears real quick to entertain Lisa's thoughts here. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, she's absolutely correct. I don't think he's going. I think I'm more worried about the run game than anything. I think if we do our job again, they may take some shots, in the air, but honestly, nobody scares me as far as like in their receivers. I think was it Peoples-Jones? I think he has some speed, but I think we can stay with him.
Yeah, DPJ got that size. That could be a problem. The size and that speed. If Baker sees
Peoples, but if Westry is healthy, he could. I think we run a 4-3. He's 6'5" at corner. He can run with him, but this is in my opinion. The OG is going to do his thing, my man. Jimmy Smith is going to show you what he got, bro. Jimmy Smith, always been one of my favorite players, always been one of my favorite corners.
Yeah, I like Jimmy too. In fact, I predicted when he got drafted. It was just a really, really confusing draft process, and I was very excited when the end result came. I thought we were going to lose the guy because we ended up off the clock, and it was just really. But once it happened, I was pumped. I was like, "Let's go!" And there's a couple people in Flock Nation. They
wanted Dez. Everybody wanted Dez. They thought he was going to go for Dez.
Yeah. Well, it was one. I think that was the year before. I thought we was going to get Dez, and the Cowboys slipped in there, and so
they came out the same year.
They came out the same year. I thought we had to trade out of
that. We were sitting there, and the Cowboys. The only reason I remember this is because my cousin's a Cowboy fan. We were watching the sports ball.
I got to look this up because I thought for sure.
They came out the same year.
Nah, because when the Ravens was on the clock, it was okay. It was right after. So Ravens slid in there and they got Dez, right? And so Ravens was so mad that they got out of the pick, and that's when Tim Tebow got drafted. And then so the Ravens ended up going to Sergio Kendall in the second round the next year. And then the following year, I think is when Jimmy Smith got drafted because they were trying to trade the pick. They could not get a trade for the pick to swap out. And then they had no choice but to choose the pick. And they knew they wanted Jimmy. They just knew that they could get him a slot back and try to select something.
They came out the same year. Prince Camille Kumar. I can't pronounce his name correctly. Yeah, that corner from Nebraska. That's when the Giants picked him. It was that same draft.
Let's see here. I'm going to look it up. Dez Bryant draft year.
I could have sworn Cowboys jumped up in front of him because I was with my cousin. He was like, we need Dez. We need Dez. We need Dez. And I was like, I don't know. We need a receiver too.
So Dez was drafted in 2010. And then Jimmy Smith. Let me see here. His draft year was... No, not 1958. Keep trying
wrong Jimmy.
Keep trying to go after the other dude, man. It's hilarious.
Wrong Jimmy.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, go. 2011. So yeah, Jimmy was 2011, and I'm still here.
I see you.
yeah, Jimmy was 2011, and Dez was 2010. But yeah, it was one of those frustrating years for the draft. Yeah. You're sitting there looking at it; it's about to fall to us. There was a defensive tackle that the Ravens could have drafted, but like I said, they just traded out of the pick to Denver, selected a couple of extra picks, and then the Denver Broncos drafted Tim Tebow with our pick. I'm like, oh my gosh, and it was. I was just like,
okay, we'll get him.
Yeah, in every draft year, you're sitting here and you're like, all right, our team's gonna draft. It's gonna happen. It's totally gonna. Even the year Lamar was drafted, I was sitting here like, yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm at TNT Stadium at the time, waiting like, okay, we're gonna do it. No, we traded back. Oh, we traded back again, and I was like, and then we drafted right in. I was like, get out of here, man.
Picks. We got how many picks we got going into the draft this year? Like 10.
Yeah. So hopefully you're gonna see some moving up and down on that one too. It's gonna be crazy.
I hope he got 10 so he can trade up. Not 10 just to keep him. You know? That's a lot of picks
moving around. You know he likes them like he lottery tickets. That's his thing. Yeah. He likes his lottery tickets. So let's see. Next question is it's about the defense. So we're going to go into Chris Westry. So is he ready?
I don't think he's gonna start.
He ain't gonna start. Who's gonna start?
I think he started in the Chicago game because remember Jimmy was still hurt.
Yep.
And he can't. Jimmy wasn't even on the he wasn't on the injury list at all this week.
Okay.
I think even in the Pittsburgh game, it seemed like they were ramping him up more and more. He probably had to play more anyway because remember Tavon was still sick. So I mean, I would Jimmy, like you said before, you said it on the last presser. Jimmy is a press corner, and that's what I enjoy because that's what I did in high school and I did in college. So it was like I'm 6'3". So if I felt like I always try to model myself at the prime. I was like, if I get my hands on you, it's over.
Oh yeah,
that's what Jimmy to this day he was like even that catch that I think Claypool had on him.
Yeah,
he barely made that catch. That should have been a pick. So he still got it. I think we got 5 games left.
Yeah,
just this last stretch run, I really think that he has enough in him to help, at least hold it down. He may not play they may go back to what they used to do. Remember when Marlon first got there?
Yeah.
Him, Brandon Carr, and Jimmy, they did a rotation to give him some, and Jimmy stayed healthy that time.
Okay. Yeah, I think with Jimmy right now, Wink used him wrong. He used him wrong the last couple of games. This man, like you said, he is a press corner. His job is to whoop people down. Now, the bad side of that is right now, Jimmy don't have the speed to make up on the back end that he used to have.
Right.
And that's where they're going to have to hide him with the zones.
Right.
Let him be able to press people and be able to stay into a shorter zone, cover that little area, and he'll be just fine. I mean, that's work for Richard Sherman. That's work for Josh Norman. But the second they get caught in a man-on-man type of situation, Jimmy needs to be off the field. And that's what they need to put Chris Westry in because that's where he's going to be able to cover one-on-one over the top because he's got that speed. As long as he don't get caught on a double move because he did get beat by Marquise Goodwin back at that Chicago game. So hopefully that's not happening again. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah. But I think that just to piggyback off of that, I think that what we need to do is he got to get his legs right. So this is the best time. Like he slowly ramped it up. That rotation we're gonna have to do that rotation to some point degree. But on top of that, this is the best time. Now watch this. This is my prediction. Watch the defense. We already playing great defense, like up front against the run. Watch for these last 5 games, the defense steps up to where they should be like number 1.
Yeah.
Just because Wink has to simplify the back end. The great thing about Jimmy got the best hands back there. Between him and Geno Stone, if Jimmy get his hands on the ball, it's a pick.
I've been noticing they've been using Geno in a lot of blitzes as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how
he's the only one right now that could, other than Washington. Washington got hurt. He's the only one right now that really is the only. He's the only true free safety that we have.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have him listed as a strong safety. Probably because they feel like he don't have the speed, but he's a playmaker.
I think he's a free safety. I think he's a ball hog, man. I think that's things that honestly, Stevens is a strong safety. He's just a thumper. I mean, he's got okay coverage skills, and with Jimmy's hurt, he can come in and do decent on the tight end. But as you can see, there's still some things he needs to improve upon his game or whatever. Because I mean, that's where Baker got off with the tight end. That's where he got his touchdown, even though it might not have been a touchdown. I mean, it hit the ground to me.
But
maybe that's probably where we're looking at it. But speaking of the tight ends, I think that's going to be a major thing this weekend because Cleveland's down 2 tight ends. And I think what was it? COVID, I believe COVID, and I can't remember.
And Njoku has COVID. One of the number 88, he's out. think he has a foot injury or something like that.
Right, yeah.
So it's just Hooper. So they have somebody on the practice squad that Coach Harbaugh talked about that's really good.
So so how does that affect their ground game? Because I mean, tight ends, when you come in there with those, 22 sets,
Yeah,
it's easier to run the ball.
I think they're gonna bring in an extra lineman, man. I still don't put that past. I mean, they're gonna miss their center, and of course Conklin is out. But still, in all, I think that I see them. They're going to somehow, some way, bring in an extra lineman every now and then to try to establish that run game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I feel like it's going to be. I think they're going to be able to stop the run a little bit better. They're going to have a little bit better of a time stopping the run because they don't necessarily have to worry about a tight end going out for. It's going to be a offensive lineman going out for a pass, so they can commit a little bit more to the box right there.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how they're going to go deep because now I was watching NFL Live. No, I was watching Get Up. Excuse me.
Okay.
And it could be smoke and mirrors, but Kevin Stefanski was saying like they're truly prepared, and this is a good time for them to be able to take the shots that they need. And they feel comfortable. Now, I know we don't have Marlon, but right now Marlon hasn't been playing his best, and honestly, the best corner that's been out there is AA. He's been the best one. Even he should have had 2 picks.
Yeah.
In the Pittsburgh game. One of them, Washington made a good play with trying to deflect it out because that was going to be a pick when he dove out for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, they said it's a hole, but let me tell you something.
I'm here.
Yeah, got my the Mac be switching and flipping. Somebody it just flipped off.
Okay, bro.
No, and then on that holding call, this is why I don't agree with it because sometimes you gotta let jokers play. Because if you don't, if not every receiver pushes off, Pittsburgh receivers are hella good with the stiff arm before they catch.
Yeah, it's a full extension of the arm. Sometimes I'm like, dude, that's full on.
Yeah, you gotta let that go, boss. I'm sorry, that should have been a pick. Game should have been over. Yeah. That's when the game should have really ended. To be honest with you, nobody's talking about it because it's a pass interference. But I totally disagree. I mean, Romo's a quarterback, so he's gonna say, yeah, you can't pull right there. Yeah, but he gave him a straight stiff arm, bro. Like he stiffed all them. That should have been that pick by Queen should have been legit. It should have been over right then and there. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I definitely agree. But I think you had a couple of pops ups. I think Jimmy Dean said something about the rotation.
He said rotating corners, and he said Tavon got hands too.
Yeah, he do. Yeah, sorry about that, D. You're right, Jimmy. You're right. Tavon Tay do got some hands. He do got hands.
I think he would if it comes down to it, and I know this would be really dire. I believe Tavon would do fine on the outside because he did, and whenever he was challenged to when Ladarius Webb was out, when Jimmy was out, and we ain't had no choice. Now, Dez Bryant owned him in the Cowboys game late, but for that beginning of that game, because I was at that game too, I was down in AT&T Stadium for that. Dez was having problems with Tavon. I mean, he was legit.
Wrong, man. I don't know. I mean, again, just like Jimmy, I don't know if his speed is still there because Mooney shook the brakes off him. Boy, he had him on skates when they played Chicago for a second. I said, "Oh my God,
yeah,
can't do that to him. Don't do that." Look, I really feel like if you're an older corner, it's either one or two things you're gonna do if you don't have your speed like you used to. Yeah. Other than, I mean, obviously technique is number one, right? Yeah. But if you can't put your hands on so you can be by him, you need to be able to play a good cover 3 where you can keep him in front of you.
Yeah, you got to play way off, and it sucks because you suck a 5-yard out screen pass to slant. I mean, you got to play out. You either got to be trusted in the zone. You got coverage over top. Or you're playing a very 10 yards off Samari roll type of coverage because you know that there's probably gonna be problems on the back end there. And that's one thing I couldn't stand about Samari because Peyton Manning used to pick Samari roll apart whenever he would see him playing 10 yards off on the coverage. Jimmy's best game is, like you said, it's just up in your face, ushering you to the sidelines. It's going to be a full-on fight at this line of scrimmage type thing. but he just got to have that coverage over top. Him and Chuck got to be right there and got to have that good communication. We've seen too many times this season with Marlon and Chuck just lack of communication, left that little pocket there, and there was a deep pass or a deep bomb that's been given up.
You see the last game when they crossed and Marlon and Ant said it was on him.
Yeah.
He said so it was his fault. So he said everybody was running something else. It was me. Mm-hmm. Now, again, it could be smoke and mirrors, but you manning up and say it was your fault. Okay, I'm gonna agree it's your fault.
Yeah.
Again, this is the best time, especially when you got young jokers in the back. I mean, I understand Tavon and Ant been there and Jimmy been there, but just simplify it just a little bit. And you can still blitz. You ain't got please don't go cover zero every time, but you can still blitz. You don't have the same speed on the back end. So play around. Like, this is the best time for you to play around as far as like you can zone blitz. You could do a lot of red zone blitzes. You know what I mean? You do. There's so many things they could do. Or even if they do a Tampa 2 and at least giving them some giving them an opportunity. If somebody trying to go over top. They got to have some help. I really truly believe like if they did run a Tampa 2, they want to go big nickel, you can run Tampa 2 and slide Chuck down to the weak side. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I want to see some cover 3 Geno Stolen in the back. That's just me. I mean, that is.
I like Stolen in the back, man, because I know he's gonna make some plays, bro. I'll put you on that.
Be that center fielder, man. Because I mean, you see it, they're gonna try the tight ends again. They're gonna try to, they only got one.
Yeah.
They're gonna try this middle of the field because if Baltimore's running the zone, they love to seem to strike the middle of the field.
Yeah.
And I think if Stone was back there playing center fielder, and what the problem with that is somehow we got to put Chuck off that green dot that has to come off his head. It needs to go to a middle linebacker.
Right.
That way he doesn't have to, we can have him blitzing up or somebody else blitzing up, put another package into where Chuck isn't on the field, but we can get a faster corner on the field to be in that blitz and have that good cover 3 or a good zone going to where, or zone blitz going to where we do have those three that cover 3 in the back. That's how we make some plays.
Can we give Chuck his roses though? Because I really feel like everybody always taking shots at him. Like he's a very intelligent player.
Yeah,
he makes plays. He doesn't make all of the great plays. He doesn't always pick the ball off. He doesn't have that many picks. He probably averaged 1 a year.
Yeah. So my thing with Chuck is Chuck does what he was supposed to do. He does exactly what he's supposed to do. He knows where every player is supposed to be at on the field. The only problem with that is when you're doing all that, you're taking care of all those responsibilities, worrying about everybody else, your ability to want to take chances is not there. Like that's the whole reason he got punched in the face is because he was fussing at Earl Thomas saying, hey, you were supposed to be here.
Right. And
I know he's like, hey, I'm structured. This is exactly how it's supposed to go. But you got to have somebody who's like out of the box, takes some chances, fails a little bit, and that way you have like a Diggs. Diggs in was a Cowboy land. He been getting burnt up a couple of times. He also makes those huge plays because he's taking chances. He is Marcus Peters 2.0.
Right.
And we need a Marcus Peters type at the safety position back there. And Chuck's a strong safety, and he's a smart, strong safety.
He is.
Just you're going to see him in his zone, and that's his responsibility. That's all he's ever going to take care of.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I just feel like everybody always like Chuck Clark is not doing good enough. Chuck Clark look, the man. First of all, he's always making plays. But he doesn't get enough. He doesn't, in my opinion, he doesn't get enough. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But, to each his own on that. But he like you said, him knowing everybody's position. If you're a veteran player, you may feel some type of way, but you shouldn't. Now the fact that Josh Bonds is there, it's some cohesiveness. So that everybody's good. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's for the most part is on the same page.
I like this whole combination of having Bonds in the field with Queen. I love that, and I'm loving what Bowser. Bowser's like, hey, look, y'all, did y'all forget about me? Because I'm pretty much a baller here. I'm a discount baller, but I'm a baller.
He's doing his numbers. He's definitely doing his numbers. I just think that this, like I said, this is the best time for Wink to try to simplify at least the back end.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just a little bit until everybody's up to speed. Because you got 3 new players in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Have never started. They've started maybe 1 game or 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
They've never really started like on a consistent basis in the
Question
league.
is will they be more comfortable in zone or man? Because if it comes down to it, we just we having a pickup game.
Mm-hmm.
I pick you, you pick me. We get like a couple other guys out here like that. Most of them ain't gonna know zone. They probably bad at zone. But if you say, hey, that's who you got right there, then that's who I got.
Yep.
Then
I think Westry, just to piggyback on that, I think Westry is a better man corner than he is in zone. I think he's lost. Like that's why. Okay, going back to the Chicago game, he was like his feet were planted in the ground. He couldn't move because he's never played that far off, and you still that's still your man, but he was playing like 20 yards off. You understand what I'm saying? Because you didn't want to get beat over top, but he wasn't moving. So that's for somebody that's never done that. You looking at the field totally different. But he correct. The thing that I like about him is that he's always correcting himself the next play. You know what I'm saying? And you won't see the mistake again.
Yeah, that's the thing about corners. You got to have them. I say a Dory mentality. You fail, but you have to forget about those things of the past and learn a little bit on those because like as a corner you're going to get beat. There's going to be times when there's going to be a lot of plays made your way, and you might have 2 pass defenses, and that's a pretty solid game. But at the same time, you might have gave up 5 catches for 78 yards. And some people are like, oh, well, he had a tough. That was a normal day. That's a decent day for a corner if they're giving up that much. And if Westry has a day like that, let's say it's against. I'm hoping that he faces off against Donovan Peoples-Jones because I don't want the physicality of AA is just not physical. He's not a physical corner. He's a shadow type of guy. Reminds me of Kerry Williams. I think Kerry Williams might have been just slightly more physical than AA.
He was.
He can shadow with the best of them, and he can probably knock some passes down. But I would rather have him with Landry and have Donovan Peoples-Jones on Westry, and that would provide a little bit better as far as the back end coverage, and he won't get mossed like he did with Pittman.
Let me ask you this: do you think that you think they're gonna move Landry more in the slot? Because the fact that we are so injured in the back end that they're gonna try to take a shot.
I think if Tavon is on Landry, I think we're gonna be all right because he's more.
I'll be honest with you. Even with Marlo out, I really still feel like this is the best because once you simplify things, they just can play. They ain't gotta think, and then they let them catch up. We have too many new pieces in that back end for them to be thinking too much. Stone is playing. Every time Stone's been out there, he's not great. He's not a great blitzer yet. Yeah. But every time Stone's been out there, he's doing his job.
Yep.
Brandon Stevens is getting better.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's getting better on that back end. They just have to have time. You can't throw the book at them, especially when they're that young. None of them has played a full NFL season before. Nah. Remember, we got Westry was cut off. He was on the Cowboy team last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was on their practice squad. And I don't understand how you let this joker go when you 6'5" running the 4-3 and you playing corner. Like I could have moved you anywhere, bro.
Right. Like, he teaches a couple of techniques. You can't speed and height like that.
Yeah, you can't teach that. And he played at Kentucky, so he's familiar with. He played against the best. He played in the SEC, so he can play. But he's just raw to the position. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. My bad.
Here's a question here from Jason. He says, do y'all think AA or Westry is faster? I'd rather have the faster corner on Peoples-Jones.
I don't think I think AA is faster, but I don't think that I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't just because he's faster. Peoples-Jones and what's the tight end that's going to be out?
So you got Njoku and Bryant are both out.
Okay, Njoku, because they had so many injuries, and plus OBJ is not there. Peoples-Jones and Njoku were their deep threats. Now Hollywood Higgins is going to play in this game, so they got Higgins. Just so don't forget about Higgins. Higgins is going to play.
Oh yeah,
play the last game.
The thing is Baker is best on when he's hitting Higgins. If he ain't hitting Higgins, they ain't winning games.
Higgins is playing this game, and that's probably his favorite target, honestly, other than Landry. But I wouldn't put just because speed means speed. I wouldn't put him on. I wouldn't put him on him.
Yeah,
for the most part, unless we play in the zone. Like if we pressing, I want Westry on him. You know what I mean? I want Westry on him. I want the guy that's more shifty. I'd rather have Double A on to be,
Okay.
in my opinion, because he's not a big guy. I mean, he's what is he? 180 maybe? 185?
So you
Top
think? I think
180?
yeah. You said double A on the faster, on the more shiftier guy,
The
right?
more shifty guy.
Yes, I
You
agree.
know,
Because as you
Ezekiel
get
Jones
taller,
is big and he's fast.
yeah, when you
Oh,
get taller
that's the
like that,
problem.
hips, you can't turn them hips when you're 6'4" like that.
Yeah.
I think
So,
yeah, put him on the back end, just straight line speed against Donovan Jones, then and he has physicality, so that would be a good matchup there.
so
There's a couple comments here. Let's see what Jimmy says. Jimmy says Browns also have Schwartz, who is like 4'2", 40.
he's out.
I think he's out.
Got concussion.
Healthy scratch. And then Jimmy has something to say here. Jimmy said, "Can we stack the box like we did last game against the Browns with this secondary?"
Depends on if they go too tight. If they bring in an extra lineman, I would.
Yeah, I think like they on first down, they were sending 5. They were stacking the box.
Yeah.
I loved it because of the fact that they didn't just stack it like, hey, we're gonna have 4 on the line and 3 back. No, they had 5 sitting on the line. They wanted to clog every single gap right up front, and everybody was handling their responsibility there. And they were actually doing some run blitzing with that, with Queen coming through the gap, and he was just taking guesses and happened to be right. I loved it because Queen is best when he is just shooting. Like, it don't matter if he's having to sit back and have to break down a tackle. I don't really trust Queen. But if they say, hey, this is a gap, go shoot this joint, Queen is there.
I honestly think our front seven is gonna have a day because as far as the run game, I think we can shut it down again. Remember, Campbell didn't play in that game.
Yep.
So you see how much Brandon Williams was wrecking the game. Yeah. They're gonna have to try to double team one of them.
Yeah, he having a full on revival because I felt like against like the Colts game, he was getting owned. I think both him and Campbell was kind of getting owned until Campbell got that block.
Yeah,
and then you started to see momentum. They started to come on a little bit.
Right.
But I feel like like when it comes to the ground game, when it came both of them, I was like, why are we got them on this team again? But you can see them as they're gelling with each other, recognizing, all right, well, this is how we work with Matabike. This is how the rotation works in. And these are our real gaps, and this is what kind of protection we have on that back end. I felt like, they're starting to gel, and they really showed out on a Sunday night. The other was it 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yeah. Even like this past week when they played Pittsburgh, like until they ran the no huddle when Jokers was getting gassed, they couldn't run the ball. Washington is getting better against. I mean, Roger Washington is doing. He's silently doing a great job. Jelly is another one that's doing a great job. That's not getting enough credit.
Yeah,
to run. And Matabike he's doing what he has to do in and out. Sometimes he's making great plays, but he's caused. They were doing a lot of holding too.
I'll be honest with you. I like Matabike, and I think with Matabike there, we can really say goodbye to Brandon Williams because he's going to be a little bit more expensive this next time coming around, or maybe not as expensive, but at the same time, he's not going to be worth $7 million.
No, I think Brandon. I'll be honest with you. I think Brandon. He may be. I mean, I think he may retire. I don't think he's going to play anymore after this year. I mean, part of the reason that he was playing so bad in the beginning was because his shoulder was. He was trying to hold up. His shoulder was beat. Hurt the whole time.
Yeah.
And I guess it finally gave in when he played Cincinnati. Like I've never seen him get pushed off the ball like that. He was pushed back 10 yards.
And it was on the counters. It was just like he would just do a cutback, and then that lane was wide open. I was like, "Where is our defensive tackles? Are they here today?"
Yeah, exactly.
Both to Perrine and to start over there, Mixon. I'm like, man, come on with it. What's going on? So of course, I'm pretty sure they went back to the lab and figured out like, hey, we can't be getting beat like this up the middle. We can't give up big plays on the ground. We're already giving them up in the air. I mean, that Minnesota game where they gave up 2 big plays over 50+ yards. And I mean, granted, after that, I don't know what happened. I think Wink pulled his belt off and was like, move your hand, stop. Like everybody here for a catch. He was like, y'all give up another yard. He was like,
I get a whooping.
He was like, we will not lose another yard. I'm like, okay, my man. All for him. And what happened, I think Marlowe didn't allow a pass. He didn't allow 10 more yards that game. Or I think it was 16. I think he allowed 16 total yards after that big play. And that defense they locked it down. They really came to show up after they gave up those 2 big plays. And I think
will say this too. Since the bye, other than the Minnesota game, we've really averaged like nobody's really scored more than 20 points. I guess I want to say about 13 points a game. Like, well, who do we play? Cleveland. We play Minnesota. We play Pittsburgh, and now we playing Cleveland again.
Yeah,
Nobody's really like they're not getting off like they were in the beginning of the year.
I
So
feel you.
hopefully, if we can play all 4 quarters,
Yeah,
like we need to.
I feel you. Jimmy said exactly. Folks thought B. Will fell off when he thought he was injured. When he was just injured. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think okay. I honestly I was one of those people that thought
His shoulder was messed up. That's why I didn't understand. I was like, why is he still playing? Like he's on the injury report. You can barely practice.
Mhm.
I mean, I understand that you work, you money, so you got to be out there, but
Yeah,
you can't give it the way, especially playing run defense.
yeah.
You get smashed every time. I don't understand. Like,
Yeah, we need you healthy out there, yo. Not at all, because obviously there's somebody else that's waiting for this opportunity to shine.
Yeah.
And Broderick, he can handle business over there, and then you got BK just ready. Like, hey, you know what? I've been here before. Both of y'all been out, and I've been handling business. So
yeah. I definitely think next year. I don't know if Campbell will come back. I mean, if Wolf is healthy, you'll see Wolf. I think Broderick could either be the nose, and you keep BK right there at the 3. You know what I mean? You play the D tackle.
I feel you. Hey, we got to get into predictions real quick, man. What are your predictions for this game? And we'll just go ahead and do an accountability after the game. I didn't have many predictions. I still think I got to stick to my main one, which is Bateman. Bateman got to get his touchdown. It's got to happen.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. 100%. I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
Like that, can he get it? Like
that's one of my predictions. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I think that's the only thing I had was like this is the game. He's got to get it.
I really think this game. They're saying that we're not that healthy going in. I mean, obviously, we're not healthy as far as like the starters that are gone. They're gone. Whoever's there is there, but it's going into this game. The key players that we need. I really think that Bateman. I think this is going to be his breakout game for some reason. And for some reason, I think Lamar going to do his numbers when he go to the Midwest. He's just a different player. Maybe it's his time. Like every single year around this time, he just turned it on, bro. He turned it on last year. Right. He did it the year before. He even did his rookie. It just seemed like, okay, December's here. Let me get right. And
I need a poop game, man. I need a poop game.
Look, you do 4 picks. I need my money back. So you got it back.
Send this go. Hey, just bring the Sharman roll to the game with him. if he got to do the walk.
Yeah. I need 4 picks. I think I know it can happen.
Yeah.
He gotta get in that zone, man. I know it can happen. He gotta get there, and he gotta trust his players. You don't have to, like we talked about earlier. You don't have to take the big shot every time. You don't need to.
And this game though against Greedy Williams, I'd take a shot because I've seen Greedy Williams get burned up constantly because he likes to fight and jump things a lot. This is the game where if Ward is on Hollywood, then this should be a Bateman type game.
I think Bateman, and I think this is the time that. Open the day, gonna vote all the way, please.
Yes. Call G-Rogue, like, hey man, what is your code?
I'm waiting to see all 3 of them out there at the same time. And I love Duvernay, but I mean, even if you have some way, I wouldn't mind. I've been saying this for a while, and I had spoke to one of my boys that worked there.
Yeah,
like when both DK and Gus first went down, he said, "Don't be surprised you see Duvernay in the backfield." Well, because he played in high school, he played running back.
Yeah,
got a scholarship to Texas to play running back, and they switched to the receiver because of speed.
Keep running them daggone jet sweeps because he got running back type skills. Yeah. Thighs, but I mean, I ain't saying they as big as what's his face in New York.
Yeah,
but that's some big old thighs. That boy can run.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, why can't we run the RPO with him?
Yeah, that would be.
I mean, other than the sweeps. Why can't we run the same ones that we were running with JK to the outside? Why you can't do that to open up the lanes? Because that's going to open up lanes for Lamar to keep it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty big factor tomorrow too, because it seems like Lamar is starting to gel with this guy. He's already got 2 touchdowns on the year. I think Lamar seems to like him in the slot, almost like if Watkins is not in, and Duvernay is, I think he's going to Duvernay.
Right.
So you got them 2 touchdowns for a reason. I think Lamar sees him. I know it's kind of messing up Bateman's numbers, but at the same time, if you got chemistry, you got chemistry. It's just that's what it is. What it is.
I mean, they got to get back. I hope they get back to it because even Prochet, like he's suffering. He's not getting any work, and it's not like he's out there, but he's not like the times he was open again in the Steelers game. Lamar's so worried about. I mean, I can't blame him because the pressure's coming from so many places.
Yeah,
he's looking down. He's not looking straight ahead, and he's missing. Even Romo pointed it out. He's not. He's missing. That's the one that's open. Just throw it to him. Don't wait and try to make the.
You see, it's there. He should be like 2 progressions in boat like he used to, because that's what he needs to get back to. Is full on get to the ground game and take off. All right, 1 through check 1. All right, if Hollywood ain't there, cool. All right, check 2.
Yeah,
Andrews ain't there. Guess what? I need to bail. That clock should be going off right now. He should be going through the 3rd and 4th progression, reestablish the pocket, and then decide, I should go ahead and bolt up field, because by then he's getting sacked. 7 sacks because of that mentality. He's sitting there just waiting entirely too long in the pocket.
On top of that, when somebody needs to have somebody needs to have an option route.
Yeah.
If you see that they playing off and it's a cover 0, somebody, it's me. Don't stop your route. Cut the route short. Turn around. Just throw the ball. He got to see somebody got to be there. Instead of him trying to scramble around and everybody finishing their route.
Either somebody in the slot should be full on they should be doing a drag route. Honestly, if it's cover 0, like Lamar should be able to see this and be like, all right, cool. My man, you running this drag route. You're gonna save me today. or hey, running back, you're about to run this wheel route because we about to beat this cover 0 blitz, whatever, or check to a screen. Something along those lines to where they should be able to get this pressure.
Run those screens though, brother.
Yeah, the screens.
That's horrible. We don't run those screens. How many screens have we run this month?
It hadn't looked great. It hadn't looked great. Freeman's been getting a couple of them, but it hasn't been magnificent.
Not never.
Yeah. He's like, not another screen.
Not never. Not never.
Let's see. Lisa said we need to light the scoreboard up like Christmas tree. I
agree. Yes.
So if we get above 20 points, this game is ours because that defense is going to handle business.
I'm all 4 touchdowns, y'all.
Yeah. Is that Bateman and Hollywood go off tomorrow, according to Jason?
Jay, I don't even want to make it that close. 28-13.
There you
28-13 Baltimore.
There you go. I know I'm terrible with predictions. I got to do one more, and then I got to roll. See, Jimmy Dean says, see a heavy run game with a few deep shots. One to Hollywood, one to Watkins. All right, cool. Hey, I appreciate y'all coming through. This is the home of Original Sports Perspective, from our couch to yours. And make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know what is going down. I appreciate you coming through, Cam. Hey, I got to get going because my daughter is getting a blessing tonight. And it's going to be amazing. I'm excited about it. So, yeah.
Have it soon, man.
For sure. All right, y'all take care. Peace out.
Peace.